Good morning, all you beautiful love streamers out there on Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. And we want to say Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. We're taking this day to honor you and welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. And as was said earlier, everyone who is actually in the role of mother, there are some fathers out there who are actually having to be in the role of mother, and some godmothers and grandmothers, all of you who are in the role of mothers. We want to take this time to honor you for all that you do. And again, welcome you to our center here for Spiritual Living Charlotte. I am your host, Horace. And if this is your first time, we want you to know that we are very delighted that you have chosen to join us today. With modern technology, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many lives, especially as we share these wonderful happenings at CSL Charlotte. So please feel free to just sit back, visit our website, cslcharlotte.org, put in a prayer request, and subscribe. We add our recordings to our website each week. So let me tell you more about who we are here at the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. We are a new thought community living in ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Holmes developed a fresh new way for all of us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. He's been referred to as the great synthesizer. At CSO Charlotte, we want you to know that every philosophy is honored, along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinction. We are a diverse, open, and affirmative community. There are many paths to the divine. We may call it God, peace, love, spirit, infinite mind, or the I am presence. It really doesn't matter what you call it. We just want you to know that what you call it is your power that resonates within you. You do not have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You could join us anytime. We recognize and refer to many of the Holy Scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita. That's just to name only a mere few. So our vision statement here at CSO Charlotte is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So come and join us as we meet each Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we want to welcome everyone and enjoy our service as we celebrate this powerful being which lives within each of us. So before I pass the mic over to our illustrious spiritual leader, Reverend Rosedale, I want to let you know, first of all, that the theme she's going to be focusing on is from melancholy to spiritual confidence. From melancholy to spiritual confidence. And I want to leave you with this thought. You are not a drop in the ocean. Okay, let me say that again. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. And that's from Rumi. And with that thought, I'm going to pass the mic over to our fearless, fabulous, illustrious leader, Reverend Rosedale.
Whoa, thank you so much. The entire ocean and every drop am I. Ooh, thank you to our fabulous MC and our operations coordinator, Horace DeBush. Welcome, everybody, to CSL Charlotte. This is the Mind, Body, and Spirit Center. And it goes out, it radiates to all so many people. I'm so grateful to that we constantly get people emails all week long and subscriptions all week long because people are finding us in all the ways that we plant seeds out there. So wonderful. So that being said, the Center for Spiritual Mind, okay, not Spiritual Mind Treatment, the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is the Mind Body Spirit Center. And this month we celebrate the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Now, every time we know about some culture or something that should match to our diversity that I'm sure you heard when Horace said it, we talk about it. So just know that. So, and what does it entail? The Asian Americans Pacific Islanders in the United States thing. Okay, I get tongue twisted, but it's okay. It means something to me to make sure I get it right. So it honors the arrival of the first Japanese immigrants to the United States, and that was in 1843. And then they have a completion of this transcontinental railroad, which was in 1869. And it's amazing how they all happened in May. So that might be the reason for it happening in May. Good. So I just want to know. And basically, that transcontinental railroad was largely built by Asians. So it's a good point to know. So the first thing we do in our spiritual community is we open our Sunday celebration with an affirmative prayer. And today, what we're doing is we are navigating from melancholy to spiritual confidence. So, that being said, we got to open us up in a nice little prayer to bring us from that sadness to that proudness to that overconfident being that we are, that we start out within here. So, we're going to bring that person on to open us up into this awesome talk, and that would be our spiritual practitioner, Mo. Now, Mo is also the person who sends out all of our prayers through email, that when you go to our website and you put it on, you got it. It's coming right into your mailbox. So today, since we're all about moving from melancholy to spiritual confidence, if you have any issues with that, and you have this blue feeling, that's what melancholy is, it's a lot. And therefore, get that prayer, send it in. You will definitely get a prayer from Mo. Now, if you have not received a prayer from CSL Charlotte, which is Mo, you have not put in a prayer request. So go to our websites right now and see about you transforming yourself from that old way, that old paradigm. And that old paradigm, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, Mo, let's have it. Give it to us.
Thank you. So as we take a moment to turn within, I know that each and every one of us are blessed behind any kind of measure that we can think of. I know that as this service unfolds, each and every one of us glean from it what is ours to hear. We take it into our hearts. We take it into that essence of who we are. And we carry that message out into the rest of our day and into the rest of our new week, starting today. I know for each and every one of us that this service is blessed, that we are blessed, and at this time together as a spiritual community, I know that the strength and the wisdom and the foundation of everything that is put together by Reverend Rosedale meets and exceeds every expectation that we have got. I release, I let go, and I let God, and I know that we are blessed. And together we can affirm it by saying, as so it is.
And so it is. Well, fabulous. So, next on our platform is our reader, Jariva Trailer, aka JT to me. I love that. And I'm a poet and didn't even know it. Okay. So her reading is sure to have us shift from melancholy to spiritual confidence because I didn't have the title. All I knew is what I wanted to talk about. And she heard what I wanted to talk about and she got it. So you got to listen to her reading today because you're going to start to feel the shift. Listen clearly from melancholy to spiritual confidence. And after JT's reading, listen to the song I Am, but let it mesh together. And once you put that together with I Am, that chant, plus you have that knowledge, you'll teach yourself how to move from melancholy to spiritual confidence every time. JT, make it do what it do.
Thank you, Reverend Rosedale. Good morning, everyone. Today's reading is from the March 2024 Science of Mind magazine, and it's titled The Turnaround Trifecta by Reverend Joanne McFadden. With a new difficulty of any kind, it is the reception that you give it mentally and the attitude that you adopt toward it in your own thought that completely determines its effect upon you. That is what matters. Emmett Fox, The Sermon on the Mount, the key to success in life. Yes, whenever we become engulfed by negative and undesirable circumstances, one of two things usually happens. We either use or lose our faith. Ernest Holmes, Hope for Today. During a class discussion, one of my students formulated a brilliant practical method for navigating difficult times. I dubbed it the turnaround trifecta. When challenges arise, first, remind yourself of the spiritual truth that if something is on your path, it's for your good, even though it might not appear that way. Second, open yourself up to find the gift in that experience. Either you'll determine it straight away, or because you intentionally stated your receptivity, the gift eventually will reveal itself. Third, remind yourself of the spiritual truth that you have all you need through the power of spirit within you to meet this challenge. Here's an example. William Seward, Abraham Lincoln's Secretary of State, broke his jaw in a serious carriage ride. His family and colleagues believe this to be an unfortunate accident. However, 9 days later, while Seward still lay in bed recuperating, Lewis Powell barged into Seward's house and attempted to assassinate him at the same time as John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln. Powell's gun failed, so he took out a dagger and went for Seward's neck. However, the splint the doctors used on Seward's broken jaw protected him, preventing Powell from fatally slashing his arteries. There's the gift. Seward healed from the attack and went on to serve as Andrew Jackson's first Secretary of State. The next time something happens that you don't like, try the turnaround trifecta. Affirmation: I claim my spiritual power, centering and remembering the truth about myself when difficult times arise. And so it is.
Take a nice deep breath in. Who is that? Did you catch any of those beautiful quotes, those subliminal quotes? Because we're going to start with a short centering. So relax your eyes and look into your lap or close them, but it's all your choice, whatever you choose. And now breathe in really deep and really long. And as you slowly release that breath, remember to chant, I am. Do that again. Breathe in real deep and slow. Exit with I am. The chanting song and all about this was designed to move us from melancholy to spiritual confidence. And I tell you what, during those times, just basically saying I am, you feel that energy of God. Because who do you think, or what do you think I am really is? It's that God energy that moves us from melancholy to spiritual confidence. And is God energy is us. So it's important to understand that that energy has no beginning and no end. Physically, you think it's the end of a body because you see it with no life in it. Not so. We never end. You are. I am. It can never be destroyed. It's constantly shifting states. So when you think of how things, it's always shifting states, then there's this truth then that transformation has to work in shifting states. You cannot stay the same for the whole 100 years you live. So it's your choice. But I just have one question for you. Would you say that you're ready to move from melancholy to spiritual confidence? And again, I like to say that because it is your choice. You can choose to use spiritual practices to do that. This way you can experience moving from melancholy to spiritual confidence for yourself. But I'm always going to brag about that spirit within me because it's continuously moving me. So maybe you will see that, okay, maybe I should do that too. Maybe my life changes when I start to say how great this power is. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and then deeply breathe in and integrate that mind, that body, and that spirit. And as you float your eyes open again, or float them up out of your lap, see your space surrounding you. Michelle, look at that beauty you got out there. And allow something in your space to connect you to this present moment. Now, what I loved most about that reading, just to say, is that quote. You either, in times of melancholy or in times of confusion, you're either going to use your faith or lose it. And of course, that came from Ernest Holmes, one of his quotes. So thank you, JT, for that reading because it was fabulous. I had to go out of turn today because that stuck with me. I was like, oh my God, I love that quote. Also, Horace the Bush, I thank you so much because you are our operations coordinator and you keep us running like a well-oiled machine. And you're the MC today. And Mo, that incredible prayer was so inspiring. It was right in it. So everything is crystal clear today. We are ready to get started. And I tell you what, I feel about the turnaround trifecta. The minute I saw that title, I knew I'm in for a good one. So it's all about the move from melancholy to spiritual practice, spiritual confidence, right? So now I'm just so excited because it is an incredible topic that I chose this week because moving from melancholy to spiritual confidence is important. So important that I am so thrilled to share it with you so that it can unlock some of those some of that boundless, all of that energy that's been implanted in you since inception. Now, I want to say it's Mother's Day, and that energy, the mother, oh my God, it is what was used by that energy, that God energy, to carry us to the day we have come to be. Now, melancholy is this persistent little nagging feeling. It's this vague or, sadness that is heavy on your heart sometimes. It's also what people call moody, but it's a mood that this person may feel a bit down, and you may be that person. But what happens is it's accompanied by a reflective and disconnected conversation in your mind. That's all it is. And you can't stay connected to your joy. I want to say it feels like Michelle and I talked about this a while ago, the dark night of the soul. Now, see, there is a profound practice called mindfulness meditation, but there's also contemplation. There's also a day in the life. There's also spiritual practice. But let's just, spiritual prototype. Every time I say spiritual, I want to say practice because that's my life. That has got to be yours, but it's okay. It's got to be your choice too. But what mindfulness meditation does, you got it, Rosie. It's used to navigate us from melancholy to spiritual confidence. Now, here's the deal. It takes powerful mindfulness to create that time that we need for reflecting what is our birthright. And the birthright is that power that's within us. If we can just reflect that instead of reflecting fear, instead of reflecting sadness, and reflect that power within us, we can rattle off a spiritual mind treatment. I'm saying that right this time, without a hitch. You know why that is? Because when we practice every day, we constantly reveal that truth within us, that vast wisdom within us, and every single insight that resides in here. But let me just say, all we need to do is immerse ourselves in that serene part of us. It's the depths. But most people, again, they like to run from their inner sanctuary. Oh, I can't sit still. Oh, the door is, somebody is at the door. Oh, I didn't turn the stove off. Oh, I didn't do this. Think about what you're doing, because you got to give first homage to you before you go running out to that job every single day. That peace of mind in the morning, if that's your time. I found out that's Michelle's time because we've been chit-chatting at 4 in the morning some days, right? But that is our time. When is yours? See, this way, when we start to do that a lot, every single one of those new journeys that we embark upon, it becomes that time for profound self-awareness. You can find out stuff about yourself that's very, very profound. But it is also where we find ourselves opening to this world of silence, and silence speaks loud clarity. Don't get it twisted that just because it's quiet or that you need quiet, because here's another thing. As soon as clarity and calmness starts to show up, it brings on this peace, and it transcends all melancholy, anxiety, and depressed feelings. I know this. Why do I know that? Because I have navigated or continue to navigate this journey all days of my life. And everybody like to say, "Oh, I'm just having a great day." Oh, it's great to have a great day. But notice, call yourself on those days that you're feeling that thing, so you can get into your what's it called, your personal growth, so you can start to transform. See, here's the deal. Every time I find myself in a sacred stillness where I need to be, I love it. It could be in the car, blasting my music. It could be in the house, cooking my meals. But there's a sacred silence that comes over me, and I love to find myself there. And so what happens there is I get to identify certain key points, And this one of my clients said to me the other day, you know where I find mine? In the shower. I said, there you go. These things, if you can know where they are, that's self-awareness. These things, if you can know where they are, they will transcend that nonstop creepy noise in you that distracts you from working toward self, from working toward spiritual confidence. The reason why people aren't confident is because they don't take that time to do that work. And if they don't take the time to do that work, they're always going to be over there. I need clarity to find out this is the right thing I need to do. No. It's all about sitting in that silence wherever you are, finding yourself and say, oh, that's where I'm at. Because that's when you get the gentle whisper. That's when your intuition begins to guide you straight into your authentic self. There's a couple of key points that go along with this. And see, that means that they're very powerful, insightful, those key points, okay? And one point is the need for us to actually adopt a state of complete openness. Now, I feel like when I'm doing this and I'm starting to talk like this lately, that I feel so poetic. And some people may not understand that. But I don't worry too much about what other people don't understand me. I understand how great it is for me. And I need you to see that for yourself. Don't matter. Because when you see that in a person, my prayer for them is simply this. I hope you find your truth and your personal growth one way or the other. Because I may be talking poetic or whatever it is, but find your poetry. Find what makes you tick. Because after you experience that state of complete, I didn't say open, I said complete openness, you will impulsively transform. Impulse. That's why when I started many years ago reshaping my attention and clarity and intention, attention, I said, clarity and intention, right? When I started reshaping all of that, I began to feel my true essence and I began to explore and enjoy my spiritual growth. And see, here's the truth about mindfulness, because it teaches me, I don't know about everybody else, but it teaches me the true direction. But I don't just need to be sitting quiet and still like this. I don't need to do all that. What I need is to realize I have this within me, and I could be in the middle of chaos, and I got this thing. Because mindfulness that I've been doing every single day has kicked in because of my habit. And mindfulness trains me to discern all those little subtle things that the universe, it's a very quiet voice. But most times you're looking at what is and freaking out. That's what you do. But you can't go with chaos in chaos. Doesn't work. But you got to learn that. And you know the universe will continue showing you until you are willing to listen. See, it's a light voice that you may really want to train. You need to train it for yourself so you can hear in all the chaos. So-and-so just got an accident. Oh, this one just transitioned. Oh, this just happened. Hear your voice. Now, I've done a whole lot of research to help me back up these statements with compelling stories and also with research, like I said, with some facts. But here's one of my stories. It's always delightful for me to nurture the beautiful garden of my awareness. And nurturing my awareness is this. It's being in spiritual practice every day. When my life seems to be off, I shape my brain wiring, if that makes sense to you, my neural pathways, or whatever you want to call it. And what it does, it basically enhances my ability to number one, guide my emotions, guide them, don't trip out, focus my attention, and to develop a profound sense of inner peace. Now that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What's yours? So remember that reshaping our brain, that's a study. It is not something that I'm making up all the time. They're definitely reshaping the brain, rewiring the brain. I use that too. It enhances our ability to regulate all that wonderful stuff inside of us. So here's the thing, we got to transform our deepest melancholy feelings, and they happen. Sometimes the first thing you wake up in the morning, you can remember back to when you were in that paradigm where sadness would come over you. But there's so many people in this world today that have done this through dedicated spiritual practices, or they did it unconsciously. And that is so fascinating to see all of those people who do that, because I also see that I'm one of those people who do that. So I love the mindfulness and the spiritual practices and how tangible they are, and how the fact that they are scientifically based. And if you can't believe that now, wow, I don't know what to say for now. But I need you to know that since we are dealing with this fabulous, wonderful month of May, we are looking at the Asian month today. And today we're going to have a presentation for a wonderful lady who happens to be an author. No, an astronaut. And all we need to do is just listen to Alan as he basically comes up and presents that to us.
Wow, thank you so much. And this is all about using your imagination to reach for the stars, literally. So, lady I'm talking about today, her name is Kalpana Chawla, and she was an Indian-born American astronaut and aerospace engineer who was the first woman of Indian origin to fly to space. Kalpana Chawla was born on March 17, 1962, in a Punjabi Hindu family in Karnal, Haryana. She was the youngest of 4 children, and Kalpana means imagination. There was an airplane flying school near her house, and her father requested that she be taken for a joyride on a glider. Her dream to fly airplanes was born. At night, during her childhood, she would look up at the stars and dream of becoming an astronaut. She enrolled as the first woman at Punjab Engineering College in India, and she learned karate to defend herself at an all-men's college. After graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering degree in aeronautical engineering, she moved to Arlington, Texas in September 1982. She met her husband, Jean-Pierre Harrison, at the University of Texas at Arlington. In 1984, she graduated with a Master of Science degree in aerospace engineering and went on to earn a second master's in 1986 and a PhD in aerospace engineering in 1988 from the University of Colorado, Boulder. In 1988, Chawla joined NASA's Ames Research Center, where she initially conducted computational fluid dynamics research on vertical and/or short takeoff and landing concepts. Much of Chawla's research is included in technical journals and conference papers. In 1993, she joined Overset Methods Incorporated as vice president and research scientist specializing in simulation of moving multiple body systems. Chawla held a certified flight instructor rating for airplanes, gliders, and the commercial pilot licenses for single and multi-engine airplanes, seaplanes, and gliders. After becoming a naturalized U.S. citizen in April 1991, she applied for the NASA Astronaut Corps. Chawla joined the Corps in March 1995 and was selected for her first flight in 1997. Chawla's first space mission began on November 19, 1997, as part of the 6 astronaut crew that flew the Space Shuttle Columbia, flight STS-87. Chawla was the first Indian woman to go in space. On her first mission, Chawla traveled 6.5 million miles in 252 orbits of Earth, logging more than 376 hours in space. She was responsible for deploying the Spartan satellite, which malfunctioned, necessitating a spacewalk by Winston Scott and Caldoi to capture the satellite. A 5-month NASA investigation exonerated Chawla by identifying errors in software interfaces and defined procedures of the flight crew and ground control. After the completion of the STS-87 post-flight activities, Chawla was assigned to technical positions in the astronaut office to work on the space station. During this time, she started the tradition of sending 2 Indian children each year to NASA. Chawla's second flight was on STS-107, the final flight of Columbia. In January 2007, when Columbia re-entered the Earth's atmosphere on February 1st, 2003, the damage caused by hot atmospheric gases allowed the hot atmospheric gases to penetrate and destroy the internal wing structure, which caused the spacecraft to become unstable and break apart over Texas. Chawla died along with the other 6 crew members. Chawla was posthumously awarded the Congressional Space Medal of Honor, and several streets, universities, and institutions are named in her honor. Chawla's remains were identified along with those of the rest of the crew members and were cremated and scattered at Zion National Park in Utah in accordance with her wishes. And with that, I would like to take the moment to honor her and also reintroduce our fabulous speaker, Reverend Rosedale Jones.
Thank you so much. That's Alan Lilly, the A-team. But I just want you to know that no matter who and what culture we're talking about, it's still awesome to hear that even though she wasn't Asian, she is Indian. We still got some great news about somebody. So, it's a good thing. Just know that we're still celebrating all cultures all the time. So, with that transformation, even in the face of pain and darkness, can you imagine the way her family must have felt? She put herself out there for the world. So it was very, very good to see that with all of that, she had her fears, she had her doubts, but through it all, she had to use it, whether it was unconscious or conscious. I find those examples of all these beautiful, creative people in all cultures, and I just love how they navigate through melancholy, from melancholy to spiritual confidence. So that's how it is done. So, with that being said, for the rest of the day, just consider reflecting on yourself while honoring Mother's Day. Additionally, I'm glad that you heard from this female astronaut because then you can understand a little bit more. Wow, I can do this. I can do life. If they went through it, I can do it. So, thank you, Alan. So, that all being said, the benefits that we gain just are unending. The benefits we gain hearing about other people, other places, where they come from, and all of that. So, that said, I would like to bring on this next song, but I want you to hear yourself affirming these words in the next song because you're going to believe for yourself what's best for you to believe for yourself. But at the same time, you have to release control and surrender. So go into this next song called I Release Control and see where that takes you. So her name is Alexa, who sings I Release Control. And can you affirm her song as she releases control and surrenders to the flow? Because if we can surrender to the flow of love, we're talking about that power within us. And as we surrender, it heals us. So did you find yourself affirming that, or seeing yourself releasing control over some situation that's going on in your life right now. What a fine way to do that. So, what's the flow for you? So that I just want to know, what's the flow for you? Great job, Alan. Talking about announcements. You got to know what we're about by now between Horace and Alan. Oh boy, I'm telling you, this is fantastic. So I think this is the time that we talk about birthdays, and you know your birthday, and I don't. And let me just tell you, this is the day you came to be. Remember, that energy that brought you to the day you came to be is a mother, even though a father helped plant the seed. But anyway, just know that it's your birthday and you need to celebrate that day. Just jot down your month and your day to us. Even if you send it when you go, like Alan said, to subscribe on our website, you still can just put your birthday and your month. You don't need your year, okay, unless you want us to know. But I don't really care about how old I am because I'm always going to be healthy. So, hey, there it is. I told you, I always talk about this power and how powerful it is for me. So, that being said, I got to give big time shout outs to our platform team and Horace, our MC this morning, the first person on the platform. He is our operations coordinator and our powerful MC today. He keeps us all going. And our opening and closing prayer was Mo, our spiritual practice, who practice. I don't know, y'all. Today, I just don't want to do none of my spiritual practice. Our spiritual practitioner who is waiting and chomping at the bits for you to put in your prayer request and receive it back into your box, email box, right? And thank you, JT, for that phenomenal message. And if you heard her well, you will see there were 3 practices in the nutshell of that reading that you can work on. And thanks you, Timmy P, for always showing up, for always hovering over like our pilot's supposed to do, and being the AV for the day as we're just loving you. And that being said, thank you all of us, Melissa as well, for being here to doing the spotlight and greeting the people. And it's just phenomenal. And it's Mother's Day and wishing all of us Mother's Day. That was very great. So all of us are just a beautiful team together. We work well together because that's how we grow individually, is by teamwork. So that being said, before this last song, consider this. Today was all about navigating from melancholy to spiritual confidence. Take it in for the rest of the week. But today, I remember what I said. When you focus on Mother's Day, focus on you. That's the day you came to be, right? Start noticing and being grateful for that mother energy. And notice that when you move from melancholy to spiritual confidence, all the experiences you feel, so you can do it more often. So listen, just do that. Before we close out, the last song is about knowing love for yourself. Okay. I'm talking all about just focus on you, just focus on you, because today, as you go, out to the rest of your day, you're going to be dealing with the greatest love you can ever have. And that is that love for yourself. So continue this week, but when you feel that melancholy, find that love for you and let that next song scream out at you the greatest love of all. See, that's 2 pieces of my love, the children and me being a mother. And Horace did something real special today. He don't even realize it. He said the grandmothers. Do you know the joy that it brings me on Mother's Day to be a grandmother, to live this long, to be a great grandmother? I hear children are so important in that song. So what is it? What's your flow? That's my flow. You ain't got to have mine. What's your flow today? Now, with that being said, Mo is going to pray us out. Think about your flow and what you believe in your own self love. Mo, Pray us out, please.
So once again, I am filled with extreme gratitude for this amazing group of people. Each and every one of you continually touches my life and my heart. So as we close out this service today, I know that as we go into the rest of our day, whether we be celebrating our mothers or our stepmothers, fathers who have stepped in and replaced mothers, I know that our day is blessed. I know that we go forward with a heart that is open and loving and kind, and that we spread that joy and love throughout every person that we come in contact with today. So as I release and I let go, I know that each and every one of us are blessed, that we are upheld by the love and respect that we have for each other. So with a heart filled with gratitude and love, I release, I let go, and I let God, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you, Reverend Rosedale, for the wonderful message. And so it is.
Ooh, indeed. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mo, for that beautiful closing and opening. So that being said, just to say, as we wrap up our time together, guys, remember to navigate this week from melancholy. You know what it is. Now that you know that feeling that when you first wake up and your heart skips a beat because you don't know why you don't feel good, then forget about it. If you don't know why you don't feel good, let it go because it's just some chit chat trying to come through to you. So use your spiritual practice to move from melancholy to spiritual confidence. And remember, the universe is always, always, always constantly supporting you on your journey. Either way, one way or another. If you're in melancholy, it's supporting melancholy. Remember that. When you enjoy, it's it's supporting your abundance, your prosperity. So which do you choose? Aha. So that being said, until we meet again, stay happy and remember to remain grateful.